Hey, this is Ken Big Blake from KenBigBlake.com. Thanking you for joining us for this Best Series Inc. Fund Partner. If you guys want to know a little bit more about me, you can go to KenBigBlake.com/, the About section. And what we're going to talk about today is incorporating. So this is number one of a three-part series. The first part is incorporating. The second part is business, credit, and funding. And the third part is about group economics to control your assets. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to share with you the business success channel. Those of you who are registered, you should have received an email with the details of what we're going to go over tonight, as well as the password to the business success channel. So I'm going to share the screen and then we'll go over that right now. All right, guys. So on the Business Success Channel, the first thing you're going to see is this page right here. Is going to share with you all of the different videos that I watched on business. They're going to go over certain things as the business types. So you can learn about cooperatives, corporation, doing business as general partnerships. You click on one of these, it'll take you to that page. The first thing that you'll see is a definition, and then you'll see some of the experts that deal with just incorporations. All right. Over the legalities area, it covers insurance, contracts, copyrights, patents, trademarks, local expert registration, and you should in the email have the password. Where you guys at now is here on Incorporate Now. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to cover the steps to incorporate, and here we go. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to think of a name. That name could be similar to your first name, last name, first initial, last name, and associates or enterprises. It can be a service you could provide as well. And you want to check to see if you can own that name as a .com. The reason being is because, of course, when it comes to your brand, you want to make sure that people can find you and that the website is similar. Not saying it has to be 100%, but you definitely want to check to see if that domain name is available. So when you click on check domain names, it'll take you right here, right? And then from there, you can check. So let's try We Are a Business, search. Okay, so it looks like We Are a Business is taken. So let's try You Are a Business. Same thing. So if you see register, that means that you can take that name. If you see transfer, that means that someone already has that name. So we're going to try Let's Start a Business. Search. And once again, so just make sure that you can find one that's similar to the name that you want. And since all these are taken, that wouldn't be a great name to buy, because if somebody looked up your brand name as a .com, someone would already have it. All right. So once you check that, the next thing that you want to do is you want to go here to check for the corporate name check. When you click on that link, it'll take you right here. This is the list of the secretaries of state. You can scroll down. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. So in that case, I will find North Carolina. And there's North Carolina. Tells me the person who's running this office, as well as if they're a Republican or Democrat. I'll click on North Carolina. And what do I want to do? Most of these sites are similar. So just like here, it says, I want to, what do I want to do? Okay. Check name availability. So I'll click on that. the company name, words, search for. We want a business, search. So nobody owns we want a business. Now, of course, we did a name check to see if that was available. So if we want a business.com was available, uh, we write that down and then we'd see that it was available here. Then we purchase that domain name as well as start the process for the Secretary of State here on owning that name. We want a business LLC, right? So once we go back here again, you'll see that the third step is after you've seen if the domain name was available, after you see if the corporate name was actually available, you would go to this particular site here, which is the exact same site as that one. So I'll be back on here, and of course it'll take me to the home page, or I can just go right here to start a business. Okay, so when I go there, the next thing it's going to tell me is choose a business structure, choose a name, register your business. This is what's most important. So I'm going to choose that structure. I already had a name chosen and I already saw that that name was available. So now what type of structure do I want? I'm going to go with a limited liability company because as a real estate investor, that's one of the best options for me. But on the Business Success channel, of course, you'll be able to look down all of these different types of entities and see which one works best for you. You can also contact a lawyer or your tax professional, and they'll be able to assist you on what may be the best option. So I'm going to click Get Started. It's going to take me here to limited liability forms. It's going to tell me a little bit about it. What's needed is the articles of organization. When I click on that, it's going to take me here and it shows me in North Carolina, it costs $125 for me to file an articles of organization. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to download it. Once I download it, as you guys can see here, I can start filling that information out right here online, and then I can also print it. When it comes to an LLC, make sure that you put that information in there, right? Make sure everything's spelled right so that way it's done right the first time. Your name will go here, but there'll be a separate video that shares with you how to fill this particular form out. All of the forms are pretty much the exact same. So once you see one filled out, you'll pretty much know that that's how the other ones can go. Depending on your business, you might want to check. All right, so now once you've done that, and you fill that information out, you can submit it online or you can mail it to where they need it mailed. But the next thing that you want to look for is this: your EIN number, which is your employer identification number, right? And you can receive this the exact same day that you file the paperwork, even if the paperwork hasn't been processed. This will take you to the IRS site. And here you'll be able to apply online now. All right, so it'll tell you all these here different things. You'll hit OK, and you can begin application. Once you hit begin application, it'll go through these here different things. And of course, remember, you were a limited liability company. You would hit continue. It'll tell you a little bit more. Here you will put 1, select the state. Here I'm in North Carolina. I will click that, hit continue. And as you go forward, it will share with you all of the different questions and what you need to put as a single member LLC. All right. Once that's completed, you will get a email online that shares with you your employer identification number. It'll also be the official employee identification number sent by the IRS. So you want to make sure that you save that email as well as download it and make a hard copy the same way you downloaded the information for the W for the your LLC or your company, right? Now, once your corporate charter arrives, we're here at step 7. That's when your LLC is official and the state will send you information and email, normally 3 to 5 days. Then you'll be able to take that information and get a bank account. Most of the banks have different things that they need, but they do need your employer identification number, which was step 6, and they do need your corporation papers that were sent in, the official ones that saying you're recognized. Some banks, like for here, the bank that I chose for one of my corporations, they needed an operating agreement. But right here, we're going to just click here for banks. Now you can Google best online banks for corporations or entrepreneurs, or you could go to your own bank. And what you want to ask them is, what documents do they need for me to open a bank account if I'm incorporated or if I have my own company? Then they'll tell you. Don't mention like the operating agreement here because they may not need that. But by you bringing it up, it might be a process that they decide to use uh, since you brought it up. So all of the banks have different means, but just make sure you ask them, what do they need from you as a corporation? So when you click this link, click here for banks, it'll just take you to this article, all right? So this article has a number of different banks in there, and it has a lot about those banks. So Blue Vine, tell you a little bit about it, and it'll also show no fees, apply online in 60 seconds. They have a mobile banking app, which you definitely would love to have that as a corporation, and a lot of different little things. And then here's another one, Aslo. They have access to fee-free withdrawals at more than 55,000 ATMs. So once you decide what you're looking for, what you need, and you can use this here uh, resource as a guideline, you will be able to determine what works best with you. Now, you don't have to use these particular lenders that are here. You may want to check with the bank that you have a relationship with. But as you see, they have Chase Bank. Most of you guys have heard of Chase, North One, Radius Bank. All right. So once you guys have chosen the bank, once you guys have asked the institution, what documents do you need to open that account, then you'll basically open the account. Okay, now just like I said here in North Carolina, in the bank that I chose, which was Navy Federal, they needed an operating agreement. So I Googled operating agreement. I found this place here. It was the simple. It just cost me a little bit. It was so minute, I'm not even sure the amount, but I just basically put in here operating agreement. There was a template. I chose my state, North Carolina. I hit create document. And the first thing it asked me was, what is the name of my company? And also with LLC in it. So it kind of asked me all of these different little questions. And when it was finished, it printed out everything real nicely. I think it was, in my case, maybe 17 pages. And then I was able to send this to my bank as well. All right, step 8, you want to keep all that information in a safe place as well as online for easy accessibility. All right, guys, I'd like to thank you all for joining me here at the first step, which is an incorporation of a 3-part series. The next one that you should have signed up for will be for the funding, but hopefully when you're on that one, you've already incorporated, you already have your bank account. And I'll briefly go through the steps similar to the same way I did this, providing the links. But at the end, just like now, if you have any questions, you guys can ask me any questions and I'll be able to answer them. And then the answers that I don't have for you right at this moment, uh, at the end of the month, you will have an email that has all of the different questions that were asked, as well as the answers to a page. All right. All right. So if I don't have any questions, I'd like to thank you all for joining. Remember, if you share the link, the best thing to do is send them to bestseries.business. That's bestseries.business. And that will, of course, take them to the exact same way that you may have signed up with. But this website here is what was needed for us to make sure that people understood what it was going to be about. All right. Have a little bit about each. It makes sense. You guys can register. And it also has a brief overview, quick introduction, which we had 2 to 3 minutes, steps to take 15 to 20 minutes. And then with the remaining time is a Q&A session. All right, guys. Once again, I'd like to thank you for joining me here. Of course, you guys know how to reach me. You can just, from the email, go to my personal website. If you need me to assist you with filling out those forms, you'll be able to contact me from there, and I can help you get started if you're having a problem. Or, of course, you can talk to a smart person, your lawyer, your tax person, or whoever it is that you need to get the job done. But let's get that job done. So with that said, think big.